What up, what up? It's Jack, aka Justin here, and mixed martial arts, aka taking the best at what they do, put him into a ring and see who walks out on top. Now, that is the memo, but as we've seen, this game has evolved greatly to the point that most fighters at the top level are elite everywhere, a black belt in everything you could say, and is a new era of fighters that is we just haven't seen before. We've never seen these level of athletes, this level of discipline, the raw abilities that some of these fighters possess. And today I wanted to discuss what I feel to be the best representative of each martial art that we see in MMA at the top level, that being wrestling, boxing, Sambo, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, and even at the end, I'm going to bring up MMA itself as a martial art. So if you would join me today, I wanted to talk about the best representative of each martial art in the UFC. Let's get into it. Starting off with wrestling, Khamzat Chimaev, former Swedish national champion, undefeated title contender, currently in training camp to face Dricus du Plessis in a fight that I think many believe he's going to come out on top of. Now, the reason why I chose him as opposed to someone like Islam, Bilal, maybe even a Mavzar Evloev, there's a couple guys you can throw in here. But the reason why I chose Khamzat was, I feel, in terms of who is the most effective wrestler, I don't think anyone has the ability to shoot a takedown like Khamzat, get to the dominant position he wants to get to, and hold the other man down. Kamaru Usman had the highest takedown rate in UFC history before facing Khamzat Chimaev, and immediately got taken down at least 4 times and held down for the vast majority of the first round and got continuously taken down throughout the fight. In terms of dominance, in terms of opposition, Robert Whittaker, same thing, one of the best defensive takedown artists that we've ever seen in terms of being able to stuff a takedown. He defended from Olympic champions like Yoel Romero, defended from Jacare Souza, able to push off anyone that tried to take him down until Khamzat went in there and took him down repeatedly and choke him out in less than a round. Khamzat's one of the only people to, I believe, I could be wrong, that he is someone that has the longest fight time with the least amount of significant strikes. Before that Gilbert Burns fight, he absorbed like 5 strikes, and this is all purely with the grappling. Khamzat Chimaev is the most effective, best wrestler in the sport. Sure, there's people like Bo Nickel that may have higher accolades, but nobody is as dominant, has the level of takedowns, the level of control. If you put Khamzat Chimaev against Cody Brundage, we'll have a death in the UFC. Moving on to boxing, Ilia Topuria, El Matador, the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. Now, what puts Ilia above guys like Peter Yan, Max Holloway, formerly Dustin Poirier? Well, I think it's simply his level of precision. There is nobody that's able to hit the button on so many different fighters, not only on their chin, but with body shots, with overhand hooks, jabs. While yes, people like Peter Yan may have shown higher levels of boxing in terms of a bigger bag or, good defensive movement, downloading the opponent, more Floyd Mayweather-esque, you can say. But I feel with Ilia, he doesn't need to do that. I believe that one punch that knocks out your opponent is better than technically breaking down your opponent for 5 rounds, as Ilia himself has done against someone like Josh Emmett. But I feel that when you compare Ilia to someone like Max Holloway, one of the best boxers, able to knock him out, Volkanovski, one of the best defensive kickboxer and a great boxer himself, who arguably outboxed Max Holloway in their trilogy. Ilia was able to knock out Volkanovski. And Charles Oliveira, someone who's faced Dustin Poirier, faced Justin Gaethje, faced Michael Chandler, faced people with a mixture of skill and power, but none of them can flatline him out cold like Ilia did in 1 round. Ilia Topuria with the level of consistency, competition, and devastation he has done, with the ability to cut off the ring, to funnel people into his game, to force people to engage with him. Nobody is as good as Ilya at that, and he is the best boxer in the UFC, potentially of all time, comparing to the next martial art we have, Sambo. Now you could also say judo here, but I wanted to do Sambo as I feel it's a little bit more applicative, but judo could be somewhere here as well in terms of what separates someone like Hamzat from a guy like Islam Makhachev, the Dagestani, one of the pound for pound number 2, formerly number 1, fighting for his second championship belt. Islam does have a great double leg. He can shoot a great single. He can get him down. Look at the Dustin Poirier fight. But when we look at what separates him against guys such as Arman Tsarukyan, one of the most accomplished pure wrestlers in the sport, we see a mixture of trips. In the clinch, we see him doing judo throws. We see him being able to mix up opponents. We see him able to go from striking to wrestling. Look at the Dustin Poirier fight in the first takedown, going from the strike to the takedown. To me, this is more applicable to Sambo than it would just pure judo. In terms of accolades, not too much needs to be said on Islam. He has taken down and dominated every single opponent he has fought and has needed to win a fight. He is able to get the takedown, get the submission. Look at the Hanato Moicano fight. Took him down, got the Darce after some trouble on the feet. Dustin Poirier in a competitive fight, able to take him down, choke him out. There's not too much to be said. Islam Makhachev is the best representative of Sambo in this sport now that Khabib is gone. And the difference between them two is interesting, and maybe in a video we may be able to compare Islam in terms of grappling compared to Khabib. Moving on, Muay Thai. Now this one was actually difficult for me, as there is a couple of guys, particularly Charles Oliveira, Carlos Prates, who may have more technical striking, or at least for Oliveira, has beaten high-level opponent with his Muay Thai. The biggest difference here for me is nobody's a pure Muay Thai fighter as Khalil Roundtree, who has never shot a takedown once in his whole career, and is someone that is evolving. Been to Thailand, bases every single time. There's a reason why you say Bangkok ready Khalil Roundtree. I think it's turned of someone who's going to fight like a Thai, who's going to represent the art of Muay Thai. I think he's going to do that better than someone like Carlos Prates, Charles Oliveira, Gilbert Burns, particularly with the kicks. No one has quite really shown a great Muay Thai kick as much as Khalil Roundtree has, staying light on the front foot, being able to debilitate someone like Jamal Hill. He's able to drop Alex Pereira, very devastating strike, limiting exchanges. This brother does not even know how to fucking grapple. This man is pure Muay Thai, pure fucking raw Bangkok energy. And yeah, I think this is relatively self-explanatory. Moving on to Jiu-Jitsu. Sean Brady. Now, why didn't I put Alejandro Pantoja? Why didn't I put Charles Oliveira? Why didn't I put Gilbert Burns? Well, I feel as if this is for a couple of reasons. Alejandro Pantoja, I think, is someone you could put in this position and not really have too many problems. Pantoja's been able to take down, choke out many oppositions. He's been able to, recently choke out Kaya Sakura, Kai Kara France. Able to take down and control people like Brandon Royval. Able to take down someone like Steve Herseg multiple times. Charles Oliveira, most submissions in UFC history. Choked out Justin Gaethje. Able to beat high-level oppositions. Tony Ferguson, a fellow black belt, able to make him look like a fucking play toy. The difference for me is that Sean Brady, especially recently in his career, has been able to take someone down and have the most dominant top control with these Kimuras, with the mounted guillotines, with these skills. Looking at the Kelvin Gastelum fight, looking at the Leon Edwards fight, looking at how Bilal refused to engage with the grappling. He has beaten Craig Jones in a jiu-jitsu match. To me, when looking at Alejandro Pantoja, he can struggle with control depending on the opposition. Brandon Moreno was able to get up, reverse him, cause scrambles. Same thing with someone like Steve Erceg wasn't dominated in the grappling. I feel if you put someone on Sean Brady's level against these guys, he's been able to take him down, control him, and submit them. Against Kai Kara-France, I feel the same thing, gives up his back. That's something Sean Brady can replicate. Whereas, I think if Alejandro Atoja fought someone like Leon Edwards, he wouldn't find the same success of being able to run someone through the circuit of takedowns, taking their back, mounting them, going from position to position. I don't feel anyone can really replicate that, the level of Sean Brady, who I feel is the best grappler in terms of when it hits the ground. While not the best takedown artist, I feel he's gotten better at that. I feel his pure jiu-jitsu game in and outside the octagon has surpassed someone like Gilbert Burns, who, while he has high accolades, lost to Craig Jones, and in addition to that, hasn't been able to find the same success. Charles Oliveira has even taken down guys like Michael Chandler and couldn't really do as much even as Paddy Pimblett in moments. Couldn't really find these submissions and has really struggled to enforce it on the top level competition. If you put Sean Brady and Islam Makhachev on the mat, I think Sean Brady has a great chance of winning as opposed to Charles Oliveira, who's limited by his comfortability with being on his back, with Pantoja, who can be sloppy. Doesn't have the same control or versatility where he is better as a back-taking artist. Aljamain Sterling, someone who is a high-level grappler, but isn't someone that I've seen really impose his will against people like Mazar, against people like Henry Cejudo, where I feel Sean Brady would do a better job at that, and he wouldn't really, he's always the person that you avoid the ground with no matter what. The floor is lava with a man like Sean Brady. Moving on though to kickboxing. Alex Pereira, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It's Alex Poatan Pereira. He has the best accolades outside the sport. Inside the cage, I feel that besides Israel Adesanya, there's no one that's really able to compete with him. And Adesanya is a good shout here, but to me, when we compare two guys who are 1-1, had very competitive moments, I do feel Israel Adesanya was able to beat him most of the exchanges, most of the time. I like to look at what separates them. And looking at their opposition, look at Sean Strickland. Alex Pereira was able to knock him out in a round. Israel Adesanya got dominated. When looking at his ability to move up and dominate guys like Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill, Israel has not really been able to replicate that. Even against Jan Blachowicz, who came in there trying to grapple to mix it up with Alex right away, as opposed to Izzy, where he was able to stand with him. Israel had time to kickbox. Alex Pereira was able to get up and beat him on the feet. I don't think Alex Pereira has an equal in that way. Well, yes, Magomed was able to beat him on the feet many times. He is either a very similar level, who I think Magomed is quite high level as well, and also had the takedown threat, but also I don't think Magomed will be able to have as much as impressive performances. It's Alex Pereira. What do you want me to say? Double champ, Glory kickboxing champion, defending champion, one of the greatest Glory kickboxing fighters of all time, continuously, and he's damn near 40, fighting for the belt again against Magomed. If he beats him again, it's going to be with a strike, and that's going to enforce it. He may even go up to heavyweight to go for triple champ status. Which I do feel he has a solid chance of, especially against Tom Aspinall, if he's able to stay on the feet long enough. Especially if it's Cyril Gane, I do think he'll be able to dust up someone like Cyril Gane. He could even go and fight like a Waldo Cortez Acosta, bust him up. I feel that Alex Pereira, there's not too much to be said here. I don't think too many people are going to be disagreeing here. I think he is by far the best kickboxer in the sport. Now, let's get into the interesting one. MMA, mixed martial arts. Who can take the most skills from the most different techniques, the most different arts, the most different schools of thought? Who can put them together the best in the way that best represents what the sport is meant to look like? When you think of an MMA fighter who can kick, who can grapple, who can punch, who can elbow, who can knee, who has jiu-jitsu, wrestling, who has it all, who is not weak in any particular area, who do we think of? Well, I may not be able to speak for you, but in my opinion, Islam Makhachev is the best MMA fighter of all times in terms of being a representative of the sport. Nobody has the ability to finish people on the ground with stars chokes, with rear naked chokes, with arm triangles. Nobody has the versatility on the ground and on the feet with boxing, with head kicks, with body kicks. There's nobody that has the raw finishing ability that Islam Makhachev has on the ground or on the feet. In addition to that, there's plenty of great finishers. Charles Oliveira can replicate that finishing ability, maybe surpass Islam, but nobody in the history of the sport, including John Jones, could even control people as well as Islam, who can fight the more diverse styles, fighting grapplers like Charles Oliveira, fighting high-level strikers like Alex Volkanovski, fighting well-rounded fighters like Renato Moicano. Nobody has seen that. Islam, also, if he's able to beat JDM, fight another difficult stylistic matchup, fight Ilya after that, his legacy is just starting. I don't think anyone has the ability to kickbox as well as Islam, who is outboxing Dustin Poirier a lot of times, who is able to outkick a lot of fighters like Volkanovski, who's able to control and submit guys like Oliveira. Nobody has shown that ability. People have shown hints of it and aspects of it, but Islam is the only fighter that you have to worry about getting knocked out, submitted, and being outpointed all at the same time for 5 rounds straight, with amazing cardio, with good power, with sharp hands, with speed, durability. Nobody has it to the same level of Islam Makhachev, and that's why for me, he is the best representative of the pure mixed martial arts, and it's only a cherry on top that he is the best Sambo artist in the cage as well. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys had fun. Let me know what you guys think. Who would you switch out? Would you switch out Sean Brady? Would you switch out maybe even Ilya Topuria? There's a couple guys you can mix around here. It's a great sport, the most talented the sport has ever been. And yeah, have a good one.